Hi, Stouffville. Welcome to today's program of Off the Top. And I'm here on WhiStle Radio 102.7 FM with Gary Burke. And many thanks to Gary for doing our tech support. And thanks to Joe Burton for that wonderful intro and extra music. I'm here on the third of our sessions and interviews with Councillor Phil Bannon as a way to try to understand how a campaign builds up and what kind of effect it has and how the whole process starts to unfold. So here we are, Phil, and it's great to see you again.
Charlene, it's so wonderful to be back with the two of you guys again, and especially with you. What a great interviewer you are, and we listen to your show as much as we possibly can, even though we don't have the exposure that we would like to have in the northern regions of the town. I did bring that up when your issue came to council last month, and I was very disappointed that we still don't have that exposure in the outer regions of the town. But I'm willing to reinvest our time, energy, and finances in WhiStle Radio to help you expand your distribution area, if I can call it that, to make sure that all of Stouffville have the opportunity to tune in to WhiStle Radio and experience what we experience listening to you online, which is the way that we can reach you right now. And it's interesting, just before the last council meeting, when the issue was coming up whether we were going to renew the broadcasting for our council meetings or not, I had a couple of calls from some residents in Stouffville, in the downtown area, calling me in the outer area, which is great, because I like people reaching out to members of council and inquiring and trying to get the answers that they need. And they were asking me why they could listen to the radio station when they're in town and when they're driving south on the 404, but as they get to 19th Avenue on the 404, they lose the networking. And I explained it to them, and I explained to where we're going and what we're trying to do together. And he was very happy. He was very happy that I was going to support the continued programming of WhiStle Radio, monitoring and promoting our council meetings. So this is, we've got listeners out there.
Great.
They're tuning in.
Yes.
They're interested.
Yes. And
they're motivated for you to expand your broadcasting area.
It's a great radio station. There's so much talent here, so many people who are giving their time and energy. It's all volunteer, of course, or by and large volunteer. But it is a lot of fun. But more than that, it brings a community together. It's one of the areas of our community, one of the ways in which we can bring together a community of people. We can use it in so many positive ways to let people know what's going on. And that, I know, is near and dear to your heart, Councillor Bannon.
It truly is, because all we've got is the news media out there, and right now the exposure that we as a community have for community events, social events, fundraising events, council issues, town events, we have limited exposure. The messaging is not there, and we have to expand that. We have to expand our communications in this town, and by working with you, we hopefully. I look forward over the next couple of years is to expanding your broadcasting base so that we can get the message out on a regular basis.
Fabulous.
For me, it's regular information that we have to provide to our residents on a more regular basis than weekly.
Yes.
And I like the daily promotional programs that you have in broadcasting programs. So,
well, thank you
for what you do.
There's another area here that I wanted to talk about regarding community, and that is accessibility. Would you explain your background with this, what you fought for, how you have promoted accessibility, and what your plan is for the future in Stouffville as Stouffville expands and grows?
You know, when I first came onto council, I was concerned that there was no effort really made to support an accessibility program in the town. We did have an accessibility advisory committee, and it's a very dedicated group of people. And I think that at the time in 2003, 2004, there was, again, the ability to communicate the concerns of the community and the concerns and issues related to accessibility. So I was asked by the committee to join them in 2006 upon my reelection. The commitment that I made to that committee in 2006 is that I will make every effort to make Whitchurch-Stouffville the first accessible free community in Ontario.
Fabulous.
And I'm still working towards that goal. When I look at the efforts that we've made over the years, our promotional and marketing programs that we've done, I look at the efforts that we've made and some of the efforts that I've made on council when we have business applications in town for gas stations. And I've taken a very strong stand on ensuring that the new service stations in town are providing services for the elderly and those with accessibility problems. Making sure that they have either two people in the station working or that they can phone and or book an appointment to come in and have some sort of service, whether it's gas and oil change and or whatever.
Yes.
But my main focus is making sure that when you pull into a service station in this town, you get the service that you need, whether you're elderly and or in need of accessible assistance. I, to a point, have promoted this to say that I think that what we could and should do is provide a list of service stations in this town on the town website who do provide that service for the town. So those in town can either call the town and or go online and check with the town to say, now this is where I can go and I can get full service, gas service and oil changes and window cleaning and such as with what we need. There are only 2 full service stations in this town. One of them is in Ballantrae, the old Oakle station on the northeast corner of Aurora Road and Highway 48. And then we have a service center at the 9th or 10th line and Main Street. On the northwest corner.
Right.
They're the only 2 full service stations that we have in this town.
Right.
So I want to make sure that the self-service gas bars are providing service for all residents in this municipality who need it. Yes. That's one issue that I've looked at over the years. I'm so happy to see the progress that we've made over the years. If you look at Main Street, and you see the entrances to many of the businesses, you'll see little ramps. They're colored ramps, little yellow ramps and red ramps and green ramps. And that's part of the program as well, is selling that to the businesses to make sure that they provide either that ramping service and or some sort of a notification, whether it's a bell notification or a buzzard notification for someone who wants to gain access to their store, their business, and for someone to come out and help them get up over the step. We all know this is it's an older, mature downtown area, so the foundation of the downtown area is based on large concrete steps, and the ramping system is not. It doesn't fit into the scale of adjustment for the sake of the sidewalks. So we have to come up with some sort of program that helps people in our downtown area, accessible programs with the town, and I must say that we've taken a leading edge in that with the accessibility community, because we've reviewed all of the town facilities, and the town is now complying with all of the accessibility issues. We've got sliding doors, we've got expanded washrooms, we've got multi-use washrooms, and we're going to do a major renovation at the new Leisure Services Center when we renovate their Leisure Services Center in 15, 16, 17 to make sure that we have multi-purpose change rooms and showers and washrooms and stuff there as well. So we're making every effort possible, but we need someone who can lead the charge, someone who has got the ability and the confidence to go into the community and work with an accessibility group, the committee, and to work with the town and with the businesses. What I'm very, very, very pleased to say is that if you see the new dental office on the north side of Main Street at the old Care and Share right beside there, they have gone overboard.
They have a large ramp. It's beautiful.
It's a huge ramp.
Done.
That's an investment of over $30,000.
Wow.
So, I mean, if we get a commitment like that from our businesses, then you know what, we have to be willing to work with them to support them in their efforts. Part of that $30,000 investment, I have to tell you, half of that comes from a grant that the town provides for businesses in town.
That's a great
We provide
idea.
$50,000 a year through the Downtown Stouffville Working Group to help businesses with their frontage, their display areas, their entrances and exits, washrooms, as we see accessibility issues. So we are making every effort possible to help individual business improve their exposure and welcoming to newer customers in town, especially new businesses like that, to extend that type of a welcome to residents in the community who need that advantage. Good news as of last night, an interesting note, as you are very aware, we have the new Fishbone restaurant up in Musselman's Lake.
Yes, we do.
At the Cedar Beach Park and Community Resort. And the business is just doing great. And it's a great facility. It's a great facility for our community. Well, one of the customers was there on the weekend. And he's a wheelchair-bound customer, and he extended his concerns to me yesterday in regards to the lack of wheelchair accessibility, gaining access to the patio.
Yes.
Well,
very real. That's where all the action takes place right now in the Fishbone. It's in the patio. It's where you look out over the lake. It's where all the food is served. It's how you actually enjoy Fishbone at the lake.
That's right, and it's all about the view. Well, I took the time to correspond with Jerry Donato, who lives up in Ward 2, and I contacted Kyle Jenkins today.
Yes.
Well, actually last night, and then we spoke this morning. We met this morning.
And Kyle, who is the managing assistant or the assistant manager of Cedar Beach.
Yeah. And I explained to Kyle what my concerns were, and he was fully appreciative of what the issue was all about. And within an hour and a half of me meeting with Kyle this morning, construction was underway to have a ramp built to access the patio. It'll be completed. The construction will be completed by the end of the week. They've promised that, and I sit back and think, that is the kind of working relationship that we should have in this town, where public officials, the public, and the community business operators like that can work together for the well-being of our community.
I'm totally astonished. How often, I have to ask the listeners, how often do you ever hear of something of a cooperative nature like that at any level, never mind something that involves a lot of money, a lot of input, a lot of work, coming together that quickly? Okay, an hour on the phone and let's have it done by the end of the week. I love it. That's fabulous. That's a really good news story, and we can all be very proud of that and very, very aware of your leadership in this.
Well, it's a great partnership.
Yes.
You know, you as a resident in the area know how we have worked well together because we've identified our concerns, and we've sat back and said, how do we best deal with these issues? And we deal with these issues best by working together, and we've resolved all of our issues. And you know what? It's one of these things where I've always said, if you've got a problem, tell me what the problem is, and I'll resolve it for you. But don't complain about something not being done if you haven't told me what the problem was.
Yes.
I have to know what the problem is so I can resolve it for you.
And I have seen, as I've said before in other programs, I don't mind repeating it because I've said to you personally that you've made a believer out of me in terms of politicians. I was cynical and completely disabused of the notion that politicians had anything but lining their own pockets. I don't mind confessing. I don't think it's an unusual state of mind people get to. And you have changed that for me, especially on the one-to-one personal level, on the community level, on the way I watch you work with other people, sometimes very, very difficult human beings. And I watched you just absolutely work with situations to make them come to a positive resolution way above and beyond the hours and the time of your recompense, shall we put it that way. We're going to come back with you, Phil, in a few minutes. We're just going to stop for a short commercial break. This is WhiStle Radio 102.7 FM. Charlene Jones with Off the Top.